Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Violent Hippie Podcast. Tonight's episode of the Violent Hippie Podcast, we have a special guest, and I'm actually going to allow my co-host, Rachel motherfucking Fiscus, to introduce and take the lead on this episode. So have at it, Rachel.
Shit, I don't know if I'm ready for that, but it's Rachel motherfucking Fiscus. And our special guest today is a girl I met at a ADCC, another girl that wrestles and does jiu-jitsu. Her name's Mia, and I was watching her match, and she was there, which is like her mom, and she didn't have her coach, and there was some girl in her corner, looked almost just as young as Mia did, but coaching her and just like knew everything, knew what she was talking about. And when Mia introduced me to her, I thought she was doing the open, and she was like, "No, I'm competing in the trials." I was like, "Shit, that's badass." But anyway, the reason why I wanted to invite her on today is, like I said, I just started jiu-jitsu about 6 months ago, but I was really nervous to start, but when I was seeing these younger girls out there like wrestling and like kicking guys' ass, I was like, man, if they can do it, I can do it. And so I'm going to let our guest introduce herself, but here she is. Her name is Lexi.
How you doing, Lexi?
You made me all nervous when you said I was taking lead on this.
Yeah, you took lead on inviting her to the show, which, and Lexi, so this is my first time. This might not be my first time meeting you. I've met you in the past, in passing and stuff, and I've heard that you used to watch my fights and stuff like that. So, but we'll say this is like an official meeting. Coming on the podcast, so nice to meet you, and I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Lexi Arnold, AAA threat on Instagram. Sorry. Purple belt, 13 years of training, competitor, coach, former wrestler, Muay Thai fighter.
And you said Muay Thai was you started Muay Thai first?
Yeah.
So then what came next, wrestling or jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu, maybe like a little less than a year afterwards. And then I started wrestling my 6th grade year. So 7 years confirmed of wrestling, and then 13 and 14 years of Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu.
So you're 19 years old now, and you started training when you were how old?
6.
6? It's a long time.
And
you're a coach, you said?
Yeah. Coach for 5, 6 years.
Do you coach kids or adults or?
A little bit of both. When I in the gym, I teach kids from like 4 to 15, 16-ish.
So you train at Coastal BJJ?
Yeah.
That's a good gym around here. Shout out DeAndre. That's someone that I had a match with in back in my purple belt days. Back when you were I don't know if you were you were around. I think I remember crossing paths with you at Coastal.
Yeah, we had a good few rolls.
Yeah.
I remember one time you were I was like a yellow belt and you were probably like a late brown belt, early brown belt ish, and you were like just messing around with me, and I got a rear naked on you, and I got all excited and happy. Never submitted a higher belt before, and Nestor looked at me. I was like, "Hey, calm down. We don't be doing all that." I was like,
well, I mean, I must have been slipping. I can't sleep on you. End up on my back, choked out. That's how it is, though. It'd be like that sometimes.
My kids catch me all the time.
That's awesome, because Mitch doesn't let you catch him, though. Like, I feel like when I roll with Mitch,
do.
it's like he submits me. I'm like, put an arm in there, and I'm done.
Oh, my God.
But shout out to Dimitri, because Dimitri had your back, like, the whole time y'all were rolling the other day. Dimitri's this...
Dimitri always has my back. He's Dimitri is one of the Will's. He's one of Will's main prodigies. He's a super high level blue belt, about to get purple soon.
He's young too. He's like 17, right? 17, 18?
I think so.
Will says if he had like a sim computer game and he were to like build the perfect grappler, he would build Dimitri, just like how flexible he is in his hands.
Oh, dude, he's so flexible. I mean, and it's just horrible for my style, because my style of jiu-jitsu is very pressure heavy, passing, smashing, and like, I remember the first time I rolled with him, I took his ankles and just shoved it to like the side of his ear. And then I gift wrapped it and brought it to the other side. And he was just looking at me like, and I'm like, what the hell do I do with this? You know, and it's so hard to pass his guard. And he's great at getting to your back. And, you know, he does all the 10th planet rubber guard stuff. He's super, super flexible. And, he gets on your back and just a little backpack. It's fucking annoying. But,
so let's get back to Lexi. I have a couple questions for you. When you started wrestling, you were mostly wrestling against guys, right?
My first 2 years it was only guys. And then there was I had this friend named Emma. She was gonna be one of our managers at first, and she was like my weight, a little bit taller than me. I convinced her like,
that's sick.
Only guys, we can be partners and all, train and do all this other stuff, cool stuff together.
That's awesome, and I think so highly of you for that, because you know that's what we need. Like because in the martial arts, you know, there's not a lot of girls doing the sport, and I mean we should be able to do it too. And like that's what I told you. My parents made me be the wrestling manager. I didn't want to be the wrestling manager. I wanted to wrestle, but I didn't have any other like girls that had the courage to be like, all right, yeah, we can do this. And then, you know, the guys, the last thing a guy wants to do is lose to a girl. So like sometimes it's almost like you think
not in 2023.
Yeah, 2023 is different. But back when I was in high school, you know, that was a different time.
Now guys are just itching to compete against females and win.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Breeding pussies.
Yeah,
no, I'm
for
just
sure.
kidding.
No, you're not kidding.
No, I'm not. I'm dead serious. It's sad. Like I said, because like I'm very feminine. I like to be like a girl, but like I like, you know, to do like I like jiu-jitsu. I like to wrestle. I like to box. Like,
and it's fun with other girls.
It's definitely it's so much fun with other girls, and it's like it's so much nicer because they're on your like level. You know, you don't have to worry about like that masculinity and
the strength.
Yeah, the strength and everything, and we need
men and women are just very, very different. We're very, very different creatures biologically. There is no, you know, it's not fair in the slightest bit when it comes to the strength advantage. We're just built differently. We're more dense, and you know, it is what it is. It's not saying that there aren't strong females out there. You're just not physically as strong as men, and that's like being pissed that I don't have a fucking tail. You know, it's just the way nature is, you know. But anyway, what got you into training? You said you were being bullied, right?
Yeah.
Give us the story.
Yeah,
Tell us what happened. Yeah.
And
have you? Yeah, go ahead.
So me and my neighbor, it was like a midsummer. We were just playing with like water guns, water balloons, all that, and then I don't remember his name, but. He's like a tall.
He's not important.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
No, not at all.
What's your name again? No one fucking.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, no one cares.
And he went to my school and he like rode the bus home with me because he lived right down the street. So he would I think he heard us or like saw us out there playing in our yards, and he saw that we had water guns. So he came over with a water gun and he was just like spraying us and like always in the face every time. And every time he did it to me or my friend, I'd always tell him to stop, and I'd like try and like get him to leave and all that stuff. And he would consistently just spray me in the face. So I just said fuck it, and I just like punched him right in the gut, and I just sent him home crying. And my dad said, "All right, yeah, we gotta go find a gym now."
So it sounds like maybe he had a crush on you, and you were a little harsh.
I almost thought of that. Maybe Doyle rules. You just like blasting everyone.
Yeah, maybe this poor kid just didn't have any idea how to flirt, or you know, just thought you were like so cute. He had like I'm picturing like a Helga situation, you know, and Hey Arnold. You probably have never seen that show.
I've seen clips, but not many.
Oh my gosh!
You know what I'm talking
yes,
about?
Of course. Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold, one of the best shows ever. But Helga has a crush on Arnold, and she bullies him, you know, but really secretly she's got a shrine of him and all that stuff. So I'm just picturing this poor kid with like a shrine of you, you know, just like
I'm crying.
Not knowing how to flirt with you. So he just goes over and shoots you with a water gun, and then you just kick his ass. Poor kid.
That's awesome, though.
So anyway, so you joined a Muay Thai gym first, right?
Link's Academy.
Okay.
On Kimsville.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Frank Cucci, Sean Yarbrough, Dan
Yep.
Brooks, all those.
So you started with Muay Thai and then went to what?
Jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-Jitsu?
My friend Dylan, I don't remember her last name, but she did Muay Thai with me, and she was more often than not my Muay Thai partner. And she had me, my dad and her dad were friends, and she convinced me to do the jiu-jitsu class with her. So I'm just there in my Muay Thai gi, because I didn't have any jiu-jitsu gear yet, just doing jiu-jitsu with her. And it was just like so fun. So I just like, yeah, screw it, why not?
So do you compete in everything or just jiu-jitsu?
Yes and no. Being 13 years experience, 19, 115, 120 pounds, there's not that many females in the area. Like, even for jiu-jitsu, I don't get any fights. Like, going up to black and brown belts, 140 pounds.
And you're a purple belt in jiu-jitsu?
No.
And let's just make a note that, I mean, like, she just competed in the trials, the East Coast trials for ADCC. And she was, like, one of the youngest girls, you know, in her bracket. And she's going against black and brown belts and, you know, holding her own, like, doing what was that slam you did and just wrestling them. Just
hit my first 2 flying triangles
ever. That's sick.
Awesome. In the trials you did?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Terrifying.
That's super cool.
Yeah, like, I can't imagine, like I said, like, and like all those, you know, the girls, they got it, like, I mean, like, what, they're most, like, in the 20s, 30s, and been doing it forever, like, Jasmine Rasha was in your bracket, and...
So what's your goals with martial arts? Do you have any?
That it's very broad. Multiple goals.
Like, do you want to open your own academy someday or what?
Yeah. So the original goal when I was like 6 was go to the UFC, fight all the big names, Ronda, Rose, Mackenzie Dern, all of them. And then once I started getting into like actually wrestling and competing in wrestling, I didn't start actually having matches until 9th, 10th grade year. I don't really count JV as much. And I was like, all right, this is actually something I want to like do and like go compete in it. And
have you done an MMA fight?
Not yet. I might have one in February.
All right.
Maybe.
Where at?
That I don't know yet.
What promotion?
Rocket Combat, I think.
Okay.
Rocket Sports.
Where are they out of?
No clue.
Okay.
It's just kind of like a spur of the moment thing because one of my teammates who doesn't train was like, "Fuck it, I'll do an MMA fight before my next surgery." I was like, "What the fuck?" So I was like, "Okay, fuck it. If you're gonna do it, I'll come help you and go do it with you," because he wasn't gonna have a coach or anything. So I was like, "Okay, at least me and Sean will be there if this does happen."
Go big or go home.
But that's what you want to do, right? You want to fight MMA?
Go big or go home.
What are you waiting on?
Yep.
You're 19. Why don't you have any fights yet?
Just do it.
Nobody for me. I mean, shit.
There's no one for you.
No.
I wish we could. I wish when Liz was here, she could have met Liz, and because Liz, one of the first fights was Ronda Rousey, wasn't?
Yeah.
Isn't she? Yeah, she was there. That was the first fight, women's fight,
and fight for the championship. I think it was for the championship. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was the first UFC fight or the first championship fight, but yeah, she fought. Liz Carmouche fought Ronda Rousey.
And she was like training here all summer, and for I guess her last fight.
Yeah, she's the current Bellator champion, and she trains here.
Yeah, I get so scared, you know, like training, like sparring MMA versus doing like jiu-jitsu. It's like, you know, someone's trying to knock you out. That's scary. Like,
there's another girl that trains here that's about your size. That trains. She just does Muay Thai though.
I've seen her. I haven't like met her because she never does jiu-jitsu, but I would totally be down to do the
do some
come on
striking.
Thursday. Yeah, do some striking, and I said you have to have a good training partner.
Have you done MMA sparring yet? At least.
Every once in a while, I have a friend, Eliana, at my gym who does Muay Thai with me, and she used to do.
I mean, she has it all. She can wrestle. She can do jiu-jitsu. She can do Muay Thai. It's like just throw it all together.
That's
what dominate.
That's why I'm asking. What are your goals with this? Are your goals still to get to the UFC, or was that was the former goal?
It's still one of the goals. I mean, if it's not like UFC, I'm cool with Bellator.
So Mitch, why don't you tell, like, when you were looking to get into like an MMA fight, what was like your first step? Like, why don't you like give her some guidance here? Like,
Send it.
Like you're the elderly one, at the table.
I don't know. I mean,
send it.
well,
That's good advice.
yeah.
Full send.
Well, for me, it was different because Spartica was here. Spartica was a very a local fight league, but it was one of the best in the country. It really was, and regardless of amateur pro, and Virginia is the same. It's the same for amateurs as it is pros in Virginia. There's no difference. The only difference is you get paid by the promotion. That's literally the only difference. There's no shin guards. There's no nothing like that. So, Virginia is unique in that way, which is cool. For fighters wanting to come up, but. Yeah, it was kind of easy for me in that sense because we had a local fight league that was very popular and very sought after from people all over the country would come and compete, in the promotion. And it's right in our backyard. So it was really easy for me to get on board. Plus, being, I did my first fight at 205. There's plenty of people that are my size, so it was, and then especially in the beginning when you're an amateur 0-0, and this was before I, obviously was on the map with fighting and had a reputation and all of that, but it's really easy when you don't have a reputation for people to take fights. In my opinion, most MMA fighters are pussies. And they do not want to take fights that they think they might lose. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people just want the name. They just want the the status of being an MMA fighter, telling people, yeah, I fight MMA, but they don't really want to fight MMA. Or if they do, they only want to fight someone they know for sure they can beat. Yeah. And so. In the beginning, like as an amateur 0-0, it's kind of easy to find fights, But with you said you're what, 115?
115, 120-ish.
Yeah, that's hard, but it's hard to find girls for sure that are that small that want to fight,
and then are willing to turn it up like that.
But they're out there. They're out there for sure. So you just gotta reach out to, fight promotions around. There's a bunch of them. I mean, especially amateur, and you can drive, right? You can go anywhere DC, for a fight. I fought all over the country. Yeah. So, but it is annoying because one thing in the fight game is you have to count on your opponent to show up. Yeah. And that's really fucking annoying when you're training and then your opponent pulls out. And in amateur, that's like. That's one of the most annoying things you're going to deal with. And it happens with pros too, but at least there's contracts and, compensation for things like that usually. But with amateurs, it can just be because they're not paying them. So they can just last minute, I don't feel like fighting anymore. Okay. Change my mind, whatever. And then it's just a waste of time. So
that's disrespectful, because you put in time and effort training for that fight and then not show up.
Yeah, for sure. But, an easier... Or like if you want you got that champion mindset and you just want to test yourself.
We're all about the champion mindset.
Then you find girls that are like 1-0 or 2-0 or something like that have actually crossed that threshold of fighting or whatever, and then call them out and try to get the promotion to set up a fight with them, because it's like now I'm the underdog, hey, put your shit out there, and. Like when my first fight was, I did 205. I fought this guy that was he trained he competed in the Junior Olympics for karate and shit, and he came out in the cage wearing his black belt and his gi and everything, and that dude was super cocky. He's saying like, I've been competing for 20 years or whatever, and smashed his ass. But
you want to be confident, not cocky,
But I was like, whatever, I don't care who it is, let's go. So maybe you're confident in yourself, you've been training a long time, so you're 0-0, but maybe just call out some girls that are 1-0, maybe 2-0, something like that, and and that way that you can at least get them to show up, and because if you know that you're going to show up, that's half the battle is just getting there.
Mental.
And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like what is going to make you like so successful is like a lot of girls don't know how to wrestle. Like you don't meet very many girls that like know how to wrestle. And recently I've gone down this like rabbit hole of watching all of Khabib's old fights. And like, and I think it was like I was listening to like Dustin Poirier like talk about it, and he was like, it's not even that his striking is so good or that his like takedowns are so good. It's that he knows
Pressure.
he said he knows my weight distribution, so he knows exactly where my weight is at all times and how to get me down, and then pressure that is relentless. But like you know, you guys run into guys that wrestle all the time because a lot of guys wrestle. Rarely any girls have wrestled or have experience, or even a lot of the girls that are doing jiu-jitsu, it's like they're pulling guard, they're not actually like wrestling. And so I think that right there, like, and then the fact you know puts you ahead of the curve. And so you go into it with confidence, because like I said, when I met you, I was like, no doubt this girl is badass. Like she's gonna do things like with her life for sure. And you're so young, you know, so and you're dedicated, and just do it.
Have you done any Muay Thai smokers?
I have 2 WK nationals that I've gone to. 2022 and 2023. Both in, I think it was July-ish. This year I did Thai boxing, and then I also did Glory, which is just Muay Thai.
Yeah, I fought in Glory too.
Yeah. I really like it, but even that was getting people that I had to sign up for both brackets because it wasn't confirmed if I was going to have anybody. So it's just like,
are you thinking about bulking up or what?
I kind of am in my bulk right now.
Yeah.
I wanted.
Just got to get a pump.
Not steroids. A pump means the gym.
Oh, I'm cheated. I'm in there every day.
I see that. I know. It's awesome.
I'm trying.
But it's hard, like, cause you're petite, like I am, and like I feel like I guess I don't do that much lifting, and I should do protein.
Metabolism?
But
like,
no, it's hard for me cutting weight, cause like in high school
she's got a petite frame.
Well, then why don't you just
like,
start
go
on a seafood diet? Seafood, you eat it. Just get big.
Seafood, you eat it. I was like, wait, seafood? Fuck that. That's not gonna make you big. You need that red meat.
No, seafood, you eat it.
I like that.
I'm definitely trying. I don't want to compete too heavy, because I know I'm gonna be one of the smallest. Like even at one, like if I do IBJJF, I'm going 114 for no gi and 118 for gi, and then ADCC I'm going 121. I know a majority of those girls for 118 to 121 are cutting from like 130, 140.
So why don't you just get jacked?
And that's exactly
eat big, get big.
It's not as easy for girls, I think. I feel like
the weight cutting part.
And I
not weight cutting. Who's talking about cutting weight? What did you hear me say? Cutting one time?
No, I'm saying no. I said it's harder for girls to put on weight like that.
She just said it's not.
She doesn't. You don't think it is?
I'm not trying to go too heavy.
Why?
I don't want to go over 120.
Why?
I don't fucking know.
Because they get bigger. Like
they're a lot stronger.
And like you said, those girls at 121, like I did the open, but I mean, I cut from like 130, 135. You know,
don't you think that you could become stronger?
Yes and no. I put on fat easier than I put on muscle.
The mass protein, get her on the mass supplements.
Yeah. I've been looking at it actually.
I feel like
you'd already be in the UFC if you were taking massive supplements. That's the problem right there.
I feel like it's harder for girls to put on weight.
I just realized she's not even wearing a Violent Hippie shirt.
Hey, I gotta represent my own brand.
Oh,
that's your brand?
She's loyal.
I own Yotan now.
What is it?
Yotan USA.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, tell me. Well, dang, I didn't know you were. I didn't know this was you were putting your own drip out there. That's cool. I didn't know that. I would have worn your shit. You know?
Yotan for I think almost 3 years now.
You started that brand or what?
No, I bought it off one of our purple belts, and one of my teammates. She used to compete with me all the time. Her dad used to train with us all the time, and then my teammate got hurt, so she just stopped competing and then got scared to come back into jiu-jitsu. And her dad was also like all over the place with his medical and stuff, so they just kind of like dropped off the jiu-jitsu training and competing. and I was sponsored by them anyway. So that's actually one of the reasons why I stopped wrestling as well and didn't go to college to wrestle, is because it was like, all right, you can either go to college and wrestle and go to the Olympics, which was another one of the goals, or we can take over Yotan and stay. You gotta stay here for a few years, go to community college, and build up the brand and yourself and who you are. So I was like, fuck it, I'll take the brand, because it's like,
you got the entrepreneur
That's
spirit
awesome.
or what?
yes and no. It's definitely a lot.
It is.
That's how you learn through experience.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like what I learned in college compared to what I learned after college when I was actually like hands-on. Yeah, that's how you learn. I mean, a lot of like, you talk to like the most successful, like smartest people, and they're like, people go to college and they have a student loan and it's like they can't pay it off, and they didn't need what they learned in
There's
college.
a difference between education and intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't always coincide.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. You're definitely right. My question is back to wrestling, because I rolled with this girl the other day, and like I wasn't expecting it, and man, this girl could freaking wrestle. She did she fireman carried me. Like, I was like on my knees. I was like, how can you do that? Like, who are you? Like, I thought I was gonna be better. Like, never met her before, and come to find out she was a D1 wrestler in college. I was like, okay, I feel way better about myself. Of course you're gonna smash me. Yeah. But I was like, I was getting frustrated, because I was like, oh my God, like, and you could like feel how strong she was just from like, she was real strong. And she could wrestle.
Who is this girl?
What's her name? Breja. Yeah, she's really cool.
Yeah. Shout out to Breja.
Yeah, shout out to Breja. She really, really good wrestler, and like I was like, I want to be able to wrestle, you know. I was like, oh, so jealous. But
yeah, I didn't start wrestling until after my pro debut. I really started, like, that's when I really started taking wrestling seriously. Because it's
important.
In my pro debut, I don't know if you saw, I fought Brandon Pennington. I don't know if you were there for that fight, but I fought Brandon Pennington, and he was a professional boxer at the time, or as well as a pro MMA fighter, and so I was expecting, like, we're gonna definitely be exchanging, you know, punches, and then he just ended up wrestling me like the whole time, took me down over and over and over, and I was definitely like, to that whole point, my whole amateur career, I didn't wrestle because I, did jiu-jitsu. So I was just like, I don't care if you take me down. I want to be on the ground, and so I never really saw the value in wrestling. And then, after that fight, I was like down on the scorecards. I was like, oh my God, I have to, I wasn't expecting this at all. Mm-hmm. And I had to finish the fight, which luckily I did in the third round. But I was like, all right, now I need to take wrestling more serious. Yeah. And so I did. And, shout out to Selden Wright and Kenny Johnson. They were, my wrestling coaches, and got my wrestling. Once I focused on wrestling and, like, committed to it, then I was like, oh, I see the benefit in this now. Yeah. And, like, for my jiu-jitsu, it made my jiu-jitsu game, like, took it to another level.
Oh yeah. For sure.
And, so yeah, I didn't take wrestling seriously for a long time, but then once I did, I was like, oh, I wish I would have taken this seriously a lot sooner.
If you look at all, like, the best MMA fighters of all time, it's like, what do they all have in common? They can wrestle. Like I said, I've been on, like, a Khabib hit. Like, I love watching all his old fights, and what makes him the best? He can freaking wrestle.
Wrestle. Wrestling bears.
Let's talk now. That was a crazy
you just
fight.
Like Khabib because he doesn't like Conor.
I hate Conor McGregor. Yes. Now you know. Did you see that fight? So Khabib, after the fight, jumped over the cage and went after Conor McGregor's
Rachel,
jiu-jitsu.
This girl's been training since she was 6 years old. And you're telling her about, like, have you seen the Khabib
Did
Conor
you see
fight?
that fight?
Of course she's seen it.
You didn't let her speak.
Excuse my co-host. She's a white belt, 6 months training. Just found out who Conor McGregor was.
Yeah, right. Who's Conor McGregor? But did you see, like,
he's this Irish guy? You might have heard of him. I don't know.
But did you see that they didn't, like, shake hands or anything after the fight? And then, you got to have respect because then when he goes against Poirier, like I said, Poirier's a good guy and Khabib's a good guy. And, they exchanged shirts, shook hands, like had a talk with dad,
Well, his wife wasn't in his DMs.
Your wife's in my DM.
Your wife's in my DMs. Hey, baby.
As he's sitting there with a broken foot. I really don't like Conor McGregor.
No.
Anyway.
So anyway, I want to hear more about this brand of yours.
Wait, and I also my question about the D1 wrestler, like, as a girl, do they, like, is it a women's division?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wrestling team, D1 women.
Okay.
Did you get offers for that, for college wrestling?
I got a few, but they were either like D2, D3, or just like completely across the state. I mean, the country. And I was like, I can't, because like I've been with my dad my entire life, just me and him, and so it's just like just up and leaving is like completely scary for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't even like been out of state by myself yet, so it's just like going across the country to wrestle. Like it would be amazing, but we can't just like, or I can't just up and leave and just like say fuck it,
It's good to do what's best for you, but like you do got to get out of your comfort zone. You know, sometimes you go explore. I'm a big explorer.
You've been all over the world.
I've been to about 50 countries by myself. But the thing that got me out of my comfort zone, I was like, I ended up going to South Africa to teach PE for like 6 months, and that was like one step. And then I went to Peru to do work in an orphanage for special needs. But then after that, I was like, I can go all over the world by myself. Like went all over the Middle East and Asia.
This was before you even knew any martial arts.
I knew how to I knew how to box.
What an idiot.
I've always been Rachel motherfucking Fiskus, and I told you, I can hold my own.
Yeah.
But honestly, I didn't ever have any issues. I never felt unsafe because I treated everyone with respect. I would like smile and everything, and people would even like look out for me, and because they saw that I was like a kind person. Like I had people tell me, it's like, you've changed my.
Yes, but there's also unkind people out there that would view you as a super easy target.
There are, exactly, but I was always really smart. Sometimes I would wear like a band on my wedding hand, like. And so if people like ask, like, are you married or where's your, I'm like, oh yeah, he's just up in the room. Like, I'm not, I'm married to my fucking dog. Like, like they don't need to know that though. So I was always smart. And I never cause I was traveling alone, I would never be like drinking or getting myself in stupid. I don't talk about that. Like that's, I mean, you can do what ifs.
Not real?
You can, all right, you champion mindset. You can say what ifs all day, but if you just live your life because of the what ifs, then you won't really live your life. Like, just go out and do it and just be smart. Like have your head on your shoulders. But you don't have to travel the world. I met a really smart guy on an airplane. We'll get back to wrestling and jiu-jitsu in 1 second, but a real smart guy, this old man, and I gotta tell you both things he said to me because I'll never forget it. The first thing he said to me was, people are in a rush to travel the world and they forget to travel the United States first. And like, we live in a beautiful country. And I mean, he was right. Like, so that, start small. Like you don't have to travel the world, but just go outside Virginia Beach, go up to Williamsburg, just start small, but like go outside your comfort zone. But the other thing that he said was hilarious. He was a resident at Westminster Canterbury, which is an elderly folks home. And he told me this long story about how, his love of his life died, and, he didn't want to join a nursing home, but he kind of did it to take the stress off of his 3 kids. And he goes, damn, I'm glad I did, because it's a damn buffet up in there. Talking about the women. I was like, oh my gosh. That was so funny. But
they're fucking in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's like where like most, like I think like most STDs get like, it's like elderly folks is like a really bad.
Yeah, it's like, who gives a shit at that point?
They're just going.
What's the worst that happens? You die? So what?
YOLO.
Yeah. I'm going out with a bang.
Yeah, right?
ODing on Viagra.
But I that's a good way to go out.
Snorting Viagra.
That's a good way to go out. I'm going out hard. Literally.
Live hard, die hard.
But back to what we were saying, I have a lot of respect for you, because it takes a lot of courage to be like, okay, like instead of going to college and doing this, like I'm gonna like take a hold and like take over this company, and I don't know, like,
yeah. So I want to know about that.
Yeah.
Stop talking, Rachel.
I know, that's why I was trying to get back there, like wheel us back that way. So Anyway, the
I
company.
met this old man one time.
One time at band camp.
He told me life's like a box of chocolates. Anyway, so how big was this brand or whatever when you took it over?
Honestly,
Was it local?
I'm looking for work, by the way.
Yeah.
If y'all are hiring.
shit,
Yeah,
we need more models.
she's about to be out of a job of co-hosting.
Fucking fuck your shit up.
Fucking this podcast.
I'll put you to sleep again, Mitch.
You're putting our listeners
Oh,
to
I
sleep.
saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that video.
That was pretty cool.
But Yotan originated in California. I don't know who like created it or like where it actually came from, but
What does it stand for?
you know Loki, like Thor's brother.
Yeah.
It's kind of like ice monsters and shit like that. Like Loki is a Jotun, or not very good with the background.
Wait, is this
This is your
anime?
company. You
I
need
know,
to know
I
the
need to-
origin story.
I know.
Or just
Or at least make one up.
Make one
like,
up.
Yeah, make one up. Like anything, like just do it now.
That's all I got
Yeah.
right now.
I-
Shit.
I'm thinking Dora the Explorer, like so, like.
Rachel, stop talking. Gosh.
Watch out, Mitch.
Fuck. Loki, like, not Greek mythology, but Icelandic.
Yeah,
Like,
Nordic.
So sick.
Yeah, Nordic. There we go.
So sick.
Nordic mythology and shit. Yeah, that's the main thing that I know is that I think of is just Vikings. What is it? You know the like Viking compass?
Yeah.
My dad actually has it tattooed on his leg. It's actually pretty fucking cool. We're actually coming out with a new gi.
So what do you have? T-shirts, gis, apparel, what?
Yeah, it's all
training
jiu-jitsu.
gear. It's all. So it's a jiu-jitsu brand.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu company.
Okay.
For warriors.
Yeah.
Because Vikings.
Earned never given. Shit.
I'm quit. I'm gonna quit.
Work for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna work for Lexi.
I'll start my own podcast.
She'll be nice. Yeah, we'll start our own podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
I'll be
listeners.
Lexi's co-host.
But yeah, gis, rash guards, shorts, shirts, sports bras. We're actually coming out with Muay Thai shorts as well. That's pretty fucking cool.
That's sick.
Yeah.
It's hard to find shorts
So
that
do you have
fit well.
do you have brand ambassadors or sponsored athletes?
Yes.
I'm gonna be her new right
Free
here.
merch right
right
there.
here. Hell yeah.
I'm the face of the company, obviously co-owner with my dad. Logan Hicks from DBA, he reps our gis. Junie from Unity, he's one of our sponsors, ambassadors, and then Pedro Palajares from Luis, and then we're trying to find some more people, but right now just kind of keeping it low key from because
Awesome.
they were the like original, or like we were the original sponsors of Yotan. Like back, this shit was like local, like U.S. grappling, like
Very
it's that
cool.
old. And then it slightly died off when U.S. grappling kind of stopped, because that's where it was mainly like, oh, everybody's seeing Yotan, and we had booths every tournament. I would be working it. My teammate and I would go around fucking selling raffle tickets and shit like that. But we're trying to get a booth at ADCC.
That'd be sick.
Hopefully West Coast Trials. That'd be amazing.
That'd be sick. When is West Coast
No
Trials?
clue.
I've been trying to figure that out.
March. I believe
Yeah,
it's in March.
some spring area. I know
Okay.
that.
Are you going to Austin with us?
No, my brother's getting married that day. I can't back out on his wedding. I wish I was going to Austin though. I've never been.
What kind of co-host are you?
I've never
This
been to
podcast.
Austin. I've
See?
always wanted to go to Austin.
So undependable.
Commitment, man.
It's my brother's wedding, dude. I mean, I gotta go. You know what? I should
FaceTime.
tell my brother. I've been ever since I started
we're gonna be
jiu-jitsu.
on the Simple Man podcast.
Oh shit.
You could have been.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
right? What do you mean,
Whatever.
yeah, right?
Remember J-Rod, Nikki Rod, y'all are gay. Like last podcast I talked about, like when you go to like a wrestling match or wrestling tournament at ADCC, all those guys, like it's like, you know, like try to be like flirting with them or whatever. I could walk by naked, they wouldn't bat an eye. Like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
so focused. Like, and honestly, they're like.
Locked in.
They-
They're like
champion mindsets.
yeah, whatever. Then they just cry when they lose. Like,
Shit.
fucking pussy, you're gay. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But what are you like with your brand or whatever? Are you like, do you want to grow it?
Yeah.
What's your next step?
Yeah.
If you laugh at me one more time, what's your next step?
Hopefully we can make it bigger. I would like to, because it's just out of my house right now. Like we have a 3-bedroom house, and it's
That's
just
how I
the
started.
third one.
Started MASF.
He's an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I started just selling my Smash and Frog shirts. Do you remember at my fights when like you see all the people wearing the Smash and Frog shirts?
Yeah.
That's how I started. I was just selling my fight T-shirts, and then it turned into the Mindset is Everything shirts and all that. And I was just selling T-shirts out of my bedroom, and then turned into all this.
I'm hoping to, because
if you ever need storage facilities, my dad owns storage facilities, so he can hook you up. Just so you know.
Shit,
he's got one in Virginia Beach and one in Chesapeake. Just leaving that out
What's
there.
the name of the company?
The name of the company is called Pinnacle Realty, but each storage facility is called something different. Like most of the time, it's like whatever street it's on. He owns a bunch like on the way to Blacksburg. He's a huge Virginia Tech fan.
Oh, shit.
And so every month, like he plans his auctions around the football games. And then so it's like on the way to the football game, we'll stop at every single auction and then go to Virginia Tech football. So it's like one of my favorite childhood memories is going to the football games with him. But my brother thought about wrestling for Virginia Tech. He was supposed to. It's the only reason why he got into Virginia Tech. Like the kid's GPA, he shouldn't have gotten into Virginia Tech. But the deal was like, to walk on the wrestling team. And my brother got there and was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do wakeboarding." He was like on the wakeboarding team because he was high school wrestling. For in middle school and everything, it's a lot. It's a commitment.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you're
that's what I was gonna say. I'm not going to Austin for my brother's wedding. As soon as I started jiu-jitsu, it's like my goal is to be able to beat my brother. My brother's not in good shape right now, but he was a really good wrestler. So it's like my only advantage right now is I'm in better shape than him. But I think if I get, keep doing jiu-jitsu and like coming every day, eventually like I should be able to, and I'm working on my wrestling. I think he's already scared. Like he won't meet me on the mat.
He's ducking you already.
But like one of these things, he's already ducking me. But when I'm ready, he's a fucking pussy.
Have you guys got to roll yet?
We rolled for a minute. Yeah.
Today?
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Very
fun.
nice.
It was nice. It was like I wish like we need to roll again.
Yeah.
I wanted to roll with Nora too because she reminded me of her style. Kind of reminded me of Nora's style, like her transitioning really fast. It's like feels like a hurricane on top of you, kind of like the neon belly, like just switching sides. But it's like that's one of my goals.
Yeah, so every Thursday we do our fight nights here. So 6 p.m. And then it's just 5-minute rounds, and it's open to all gyms. So everybody's
Definitely trying.
And on Saturdays too, because if you're teaching on
open
Thursdays,
mat, 12 to 2.
So, okay, that works. I'm done training.
Yeah, because I would love to roll with you more, and I would, like I said, I would even be down to like dabble in some MMA.
Yeah, dude, I'm down. Any day.
It would be fun.
I for my possible, nothing's confirmed yet, sadly, but if I do have an MMA fight in February,
better get some sparring in.
Yeah, I have Nogi Worlds in December. So if I can get something. Christian said he's going to contact the promoters and see what's up with them. So I know if he can get something or like even just like push it to another promoter that they know they have females in my bracket. After Nogi Worlds, I'm definitely going to try and like lock in for that.
And so
hopefully.
also there's this
start sparring now.
There's this girl. Shout out to my friend Selena. She's a complete badass, but she's really, really, really good at boxing. Like, she doesn't really have any experience doing like jiu-jitsu or anything, but the girl can freaking box. And like, she kind of scares me when I spar with her, because it's like, I know if I like, she's an awesome training partner. She always encourages me to do good. But like, I know if I turn it up a little bit, that she can turn it up way higher than me. And like, she hits hard, like she can knock out the guys. Like I swear. But anyway, like she never has anyone to like, spar with, because most girls like aren't on her level as far as boxing. And so that she'd be like, she could meet us here one like open open mat or something, and she'd be a good person for you to spar with. I don't think I can keep up with, like, I can box, but like I footwork and stuff, I don't know if I could keep up with you. But like, she could, as long as y'all were on your feet, she could keep up with you as far as boxing goes.
Yeah, we can find.
But it's like finding girls like that, and that's why I want to say, like, you inspire me, and like, you know, like seeing like girls like you, especially like at a young age, like, you know, encouraging other girls to get into the sport and stuff. It's so awesome because we need that, you know.
Mia Williams, how we met. She was one of my like little mini me's, just little girls that started doing jiu-jitsu, and it was like they just wanted to go compete at Pans and all the grappling industries and all this stuff. And then she, one of my senior year wrestling matches, her, Mike, her dad, and Miss Jamie came to one of my matches, and they were like this is the cool shit that, and then we just started like training and rapping out wrestling, and then she started going to wrestling matches and meets, I-64, Super 32. And
I remember Super 32 when my brother wrestled. I loved Super 32. That was a good time.
I was actually when I had to choose my brand, I was actually coming home from a Super 32 tournament, and I was bawling my eyes out because of it, because I didn't want to let go of wrestling, and I was like, fuck, but I don't want to let go of my sponsorship, my brand, because like I was one of the like main people for it, and I was just like, fuck. It was such a hard decision for that.
So I want to go back to Mia, but real fast, Super 32, shout out to Bubba Jenkins, because I'll never forget when I was in high school, he was an incredible wrestler. I think if he wrestled Khabib, and it was a 6-minute wrestling match, I think Bubba could win. Best wrestler I've ever seen. But I'll never forget, Super 32 is preseason. Yeah. So he also played football, and I watched him play football, not have a sip of water.
Oh, yeah.
Drove all the way to Greensboro that night, was still overweight, put on a sweatsuit, was running around and just like trying to cut weight, and, you know, then finally made weight, and then, you know, creamed everyone he went against. Yeah. But I don't know if I would have started jiu-jitsu if it wasn't for Mia, because I started, and it's like, how old is she, 12? She's 10. A killer. Like 10. She is a killer. And because I was only boxing over at Fight House, and like I said, I always wanted to wrestle. I always wanted to do jiu-jitsu. It's just like I couldn't find any girls doing it, and I was like nervous and like, oh, girls don't do that. But then when I saw Mia, and I saw her just like literally like killing it, like pinning these guys and like just doing it like she owned the sport. Yeah. I was like, you know, if she can do it, then like, you know, I might as well like try to do it. I mean, yeah, I'm like, you know, I'm 31 years old now, but like, it's never too late, you know.
Champion.
I'm a fucking champion. I'm Rachel motherfucking Fiskus. Like, you know, I'm never. Like, you should never be too old to start something new. Like, you know, you gotta keep. You never know what kind of like passions you're gonna discover. And Mia, like, and it's funny because it's like, you know, I'm older than y'all, but I look up to you guys. Like, you know, it's
I look up to Mia, like, and I made her. You know?
It's awesome though, you know, and because like she's a killer. It takes courage. Yeah,
it's good.
You know,
it's good when you can, you know. It's a different thing when you're a coach and you're teaching your students and stuff, and you see them picking it up and using it correctly and having success and stuff. It's definitely gives you, you know, a sense of pride and everything, and it can be inspiring and everything too. You can kind of use it full circle.
Yeah.
Cool.
And speaking of Mia, we can ask, because I want to see like how you are when you compete. Because when I met you, when she was competing for ADCC, Mia was like dominating all of her brackets. And that like one match that I saw was like she was dominating the whole match, but it's like she wasn't getting a submission. She wasn't getting what she wanted. She won the match, but I could just tell she was upset. It was like almost like she was upset. She was disappointed in herself. And it's like, dude, you just killed it. You just like, creamed everyone you won against, you know, at ADCC. You won like how many brackets, but you're still like, you know, upset, like, are being hard on yourself because you didn't get the submission, or you didn't like, are you hard on yourself?
Oh yeah.
I think all like the really like elite athletes are. I'm too weak on myself. I'm a champion. Elites are above champions, all right?
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. That's what Khabib says. You know, there's the athletes, there's the champions, and then there's the elite.
Yeah.
And Khabib and Islam are the elite. Just like Lexi and Mia are the elite.
Okay.
I shouldn't say I'm too old to be a elite, but
Nah,
I'm
never.
a fucking champion.
go. That's all that matters.
But you know what I mean? I think it's good to be that hard on yourself. I mean, I don't like, you shouldn't be too hard on yourself, but I think that's what really pushes you guys to perfectionists. And like, like I think if you like all like the best of all time, like, Gordon Ryan, whether he's on steroids or not, I think he is also like very hard on himself. You gotta be, I guess.
You have to be, it's not hard work, it's obsession.
Yeah.
Right?
Obsession beats hard work every time.
Yeah,
it's not hard work, it's obsession, right?
Yeah, right.
That's what Conor McGregor said.
Oh, well, that's why I'm not following it, because who was Conor McGregor? So that's why I had no idea what you're talking about. So for me, when I grew up, I was like really competitive in riding horses. So like sometimes I could do everything as like to the T, but a person with a bike would go by and the horse would spook, and all of a sudden my first place ribbon just went to I'm not placing, or like, and so it's like I there's a lot that like, I mean, I could control a lot, but there were some factors that were out of my control, and I think that's how I kind of developed a way to kind of be easier on myself, because I can't be hard on myself for something that's out of my control, so maybe that's where I get that
Jiu-jitsu
mindset
is kind
from.
of in your control though.
That's why I'm saying, that's why I'm saying I've already developed that mindset to where I can be easy on myself. If I lose, I lose. I had fun. I had fun.
You see, it's like, you could say I landed on my finger and dislocated it, and that was out of my control, but it really wasn't, because it was in your control. You put your hand there.
Yeah, you're right. And the guy that I've been working on takedowns with, Mikey, he even told me, he was like, when you finish the takedown, your hands need to be on the opponent. If you go on the mat, you're gonna break your finger. You're gonna break your finger. And when I told him he broke his finger, he didn't even say I told you so, but I was like, yeah, you kind of told me I would. But yeah, so I guess you're right. I guess you're right. No, I should. Yeah, Mikey's a wise man, but yeah. So shit, I broke my finger.
So you got Nogi Worlds coming up. That's your next big ticket item, or what?
Yeah, that's gonna that it might be the last one for the year, just because like Christmas coming up, family time, and all that. But confirmed, that's my biggest one.
And you're 114 is what you're going?
Yeah, hopefully 114.
Because like Fionn and all those girls, they're in the weight class above you?
I have no clue.
I think so. Fionn, you don't know who Fionn Davis is?
I think you should.
I'm not a name person.
I think you should bulk up.
You're crazy. Oh my God.
I was thinking about it because like I've been gaining a lot. Like from senior year to now, I've gained about 10 pounds, 12 pounds.
Do you take creatine?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't believe you don't know who Fionn Davis is. She won ADCC and Gi like worlds in the same year.
I'm not. Is it? Are you talking about the girl that has 2 F's in her name?
Yeah, the blonde from England. Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, is this the knee cuts?
I'm not a name person. You tell it like when you tell me a name, I'd be like,
I'm really bad at names too.
You knew who I was though, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But like that's how I am, like with like people that like singers and actresses or whatever. Who's Conor McGregor? Like like I don't know who that is.
Like when you first actually messaged me about this, I was like, who are you? And then I went to your page and I was like, oh,
I'm Rachel
okay.
motherfucking Viscus, okay?
Yeah.
But it's actually funny because I tried to message you on Instagram and it was like this
they haven't accepted your
this account won't accept your message because like we weren't, because if we didn't follow or we weren't friends or whatever. Yeah. So it's like I get that, I have that on my Instagram too, where you have to be my friend.
Who is this peasant?
But I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna try to find her on Facebook. I mean, maybe I could probably get her number from like Mia or something. But
Jamie does.
I was like, you know what, Facebook, and that works. So I had to go old school using Facebook, but I still got it.
Honestly, I don't even be looking at Facebook. I just actually got the Messenger app, so if I didn't have that 2 weeks ago, I probably wouldn't have.
See, timing.
There you go.
See, things always work out in my favor. That's why I have the no what ifs mindset, because dude, it's gonna all be chill.
It all worked out, man.
We're gonna walk through fire and we're gonna come out happy.
Yeah.
All right. So what's like some goals you got in the next like year that are trying to like things that you'd like to accomplish?
I actually just posted about that. That's crazy.
That should be easy.
So jiu-jitsu wise, I'm placing in West Coast trials. There's no doubt.
Hell yeah.
I'm taking that shit. Trying to stay on top of my school.
You're in college?
Yeah, just at TCC right now.
For what?
This semester is business and personal training, but I'm gonna switch to liberal arts because I want to start like a blog podcast kind of thing for when I do start traveling and going to different gyms and different tournaments and like just my experience about it. And then I'm cutting off personal training. I'm keeping the business because I'm just gonna do the ISSA program. So hopefully that'll build me up for my coaching and training. So I'm trying to stay on top of that, which is it's a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
I didn't because like my day-to-day schedule is bare minimum 2 training sessions a day, 1 class, and then
2 training sessions. What do you mean? What way?
So I'm at Coastal every day for at least 2 to 4 hours.
So you don't count when you're coaching as would you count that as a training session? No. Oh yeah.
I definitely do learn.
Yeah,
a lot
I'm sure.
When I'm teaching, like we have comp training 12 to 2 on Sundays, and I've used so many things that I've like seen or like helped my kids with, and I'm a physical learner, so just like showing them or like adjusting them or like having them come here. Let me show you how I do this or how Mr. James, the head comp coach, does it. And I've just been able to develop that into my competition game. And there's been so many times where, like, I've gone to gi pans or just, like, an Orlando Open or something like that. And the last Sunday, we played spider guard or just some sweep. And I've had 2 or 3 kids come out with me. They're just on the sidelines watching. And then I hit it, and I just instantly look over at them. See what I'm talking about? But, I mean, I call it 50-50 because I always am doing something.
You become an expert. When you're teaching something, you become an expert at it.
If
you become a professional, you know? Yeah.
You got it down.
You're an expert. Yeah, for sure.
Should be.
And
I
hope you know like how much you mean to all those like especially like all those girls that have you like as their coach, like you know they like you're their leader, they look up to you, like you know what I mean, and you're changing their lives. And
especially I'm one of the only female coaches.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what I thought that was so cool because I mean, being like your age and being a female coach, it's like. Especially, like, I'm sure, like, some, like, the older guys, like, you know, whether, like, even, like, guys in high school and stuff are like, who's this girl?
Yeah.
You know, they're telling me what to do. Like,
Coastal is right by Dam Neck Base for the military. And we have a lot of guys come in because we're the closest gym to Dam Neck. And we actually just had 3 new guys come in a few months ago. And I always love when guys my age or, like, close to my age or, like, 20, 21 come in and try it, and I'll give them like a week or 2 to like figure out what they're doing, and I'm like, all right, come on, let's roll. 'Cause I just love not upshowing, but just like I'm half your size, a little bit younger
humble
than
them,
you.
yeah.
Because everybody always comes in like, oh, it's gonna be easy. It's just grabbing somebody, and you know, but even older guys, when they first come into, like, open mats, like, whether they're white belt, blue belt, sometimes even purple belts, just, like, I don't know how to explain it, but, because I'm very flexible, I'm very fast, I don't get,
What's your go-to game?
it's harder.
Ooh, that's
like
hard.
Will was saying what you were going with the other day. Like Will was saying this though. Like when I get like on a girl's back or whatever, I can't keep their back because they move their hips and stuff like that. So like I think I knew where you were going with that. Like you know, even if they're a purple belt, they don't know what it's like to roll with you.
Yeah.
And so it's like
First
that's
experience.
at your advantage.
Yeah. That it differs, honestly. My gi game and my no gi game are completely different now. Because over the summer we do no gi.
So what do you prefer?
Definitely no gi now.
She's a wrestler. What do you
Yeah.
expect? Mitch is a gi guy.
Really?
Yeah.
you-
I mean, I do both, but
I mean, yeah.
I think the gi is more fun. I think
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot.
there's more dimension to it.
Yeah, more grips, more like lasso,
More submissions.
K-guards, all that shit. Yeah.
I think like the gi's like more complex, and I feel like no gi's like less complex, but you have to be better at it to be successful.
Better, like just grabbing somebody is harder. You have to like be able.
You have to be good at it. Yeah. And I mean, she's a wrestler. Of course, she's gonna like no
Which
gi.
I've just now, like within the past year.
Speaking of that, do you pull guard?
Yeah.
I was so
I'm
pissed.
big
All
guard
those wrestlers are like pulling
You pull
guard in
guard?
there.
Especially in gi. That's for the past 4 years. That's all I did in gi was just pull guard.
Really?
I love playing
As a
off my.
wrestler?
Why do some
Yeah.
wrestlers like to pull guard? It's like this is new. This is fun.
But like it's November.
Our
maybe.
wrestlers aren't pulling guard.
Yeah, there was that. What's that kid's name? I met him today. His name Jared or something. I was like,
He's not a wrestler.
he said he
He's
was
a guard puller.
He said he was a wrestler. He said he like wrestled or whatever.
Definitely not.
And I was like, I took him for like I never met him. I was like, I thought he was definitely gonna be like stand up, and he sat down. I was like, dude, you're fucking gay. But like, I definitely didn't think like you'd be pulling.
I love
Taylor
guard.
pulls guard too all the time. Dude, Taylor was an asshole today. I asked him, I was like, you want to roll? And he was like, no, I don't fucking want to roll. And like walked away. And you started taking a video. And you were like, that's when you were like, guys, like roll or pretend like you're doing something or whatever. And then like I had to roll with them. But I was like pissed the whole time. I was like actually like, because I was like,
Taylor is so mean sometimes.
he's so mean sometimes. And I feel like
Next time
he looks
that
down
happens-
at me because I'm a girl. I'm like,
Taylor, next time that shit happens, I'm sending him. You're sending. I'm gonna send Rachel to send you my way.
I will.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Taylor. Shout out to Taylor.
Taylor,
Show him what's up.
he's a
He's a
he
good
is an
guy.
elite competitor. He's very competitive, but I think to a fault in some
takes it too
instances like
serious.
that.
Yeah.
And so
He like when I do roll with him, like he's always like really like respectful, careful, and like he's not gonna hurt me or whatever. But like he's very serious. I think he's like the Grassfield wrestling coach.
Yeah.
He takes everything very very serious, and he went to ADCC, and like I was being so nice, I was like videotaping his matches and stuff. And he was so mean, like he was just like in the zone, like anything that like just
Don't fuck with wrestlers.
just
when they're in
mean
that
though. That's what I
mindset.
mean. They're gay. They're gay. No,
Hey.
I'm like God.
I still identify as a wrestler.
Okay, you're right. No, I'm the male wrestlers.
Yeah,
The
there you
male
go.
wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't apply to the women. But yeah, isn't that mean? No, I don't want to freaking roll with you. I'm like, God dang it. I was just like, I was upset.
I get that way sometimes with like our black belts.
But like,
It's like so scary.
it's also the way you say it too.
so
yeah.
dismissive.
Yeah, like even the way he looked at me, like no, like
Rachel
are you,
motherfucking
are you
Biscuit.
crazy? Of course, I don't want to roll with you,
Especially when you gotta call him out. Taylor, why don't you want to roll?
right?
It's like in front of everybody.
Maybe.
Then you just make me look stupid. Like he's really good at that.
Ducking you.
He's really.
Scared.
You know what? He's really good at making me feel stupid. And I'm not even going to say this on the podcast. I'm going to hold my tongue right now.
I'm gonna have Taylor on the podcast.
I'm going to hold my tongue right now because you know what? He's so mean to me.
You guys can have it out on the podcast.
But he I guess you can call it slipping into my DMs or whatever. He tries to Snapchat me all the time, text me all the time. But then I see you and you won't even fucking roll with me. He's mean.
We're gonna put him on blast like
Yeah,
that.
I ain't putting him on blast because I'm over
man.
it. No.
They call out.
Like if you're gonna spit game, at least like have a little bit of game.
Yeah.
Don't just be a complete dick.
Start showing the messages.
Yeah, my gosh.
Hey, but look, you came to him. Hey, you want to roll? No.
He's probably
Maybe that's his game.
He's probably upset because I didn't Snapchat him back. All right, like
gotta do some
sorry, I
tweet.
wouldn't Snapchat you back. Like you can still roll with me. Like no, I'm just kidding, Taylor. I'm just joking.
All right, so
He's probably
any,
pissed.
we're gonna wrap this up before Michael Doe gets fucking super mad at me for going too long. So any last shout outs? You want to shout out your brand, your website,
shit,
your Instagram handles, etc.
Yotan USA on Instagram, Facebook, AAA Threat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
And you need to
Coastal.
follow me back so I can message you on
Oh,
Instagram
shit,
now.
yeah. I'm sorry. I don't look at it.
Just block her.
I'm gonna check it out. Can I make sure I say this right? Otana.
Yotan.
Yotan.
Yeah,
Yo,
Yotan.
I have a speech impediment.
Everybody says it a different way. It's like Jotun, Yotan.
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 Just
Yoton.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm
Got it.
stoked.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast.
thank you for the invite.
And next time we have you on the podcast, hopefully you'll be after an MMA fight.
Yeah.
In
fuck
February.
yeah.
We'll get you in here. Get
And
some
yeah, let's get some
Strauss
sparring in
champ.
for sure.
Yeah.
No-gi pants champ. You gonna have me? I'll be there.
We'll do like a ladies, like a
Ladies
do a
night.
lady sparring like night or whatever.
I love that.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for coming, Lexi.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Violent Hippie Podcast. Remember, be kind or else.